what's up, you guys? Jasati here in Singapore, and thank you so much for joining me on the Night Owl podcast. I really appreciate your time, and I am so excited to have you back on here with me. Today, I want to get into something a little bit darker. I have been researching more into, what it means to be a light worker, what it means to be a shadow worker, what is shadow work, and I feel like this may be the next phase of my business. Actually, I feel like the word shadow work is very, very scary. It makes me feel things like voodoo and the occult and like the darker side of witchcraft and curses and Ouija boards, but honestly it's nothing like that. It's more about understanding why you have some of the feelings that you have, why you believe what you believe, where does it all come from, where does the pain come from, what does the pain mean to you. And for me, I've realized that it's become very, very meaningful. It gives me a chance to really get to know myself and realize that there are some things that are flawed in my logic that I have a chance to change now because now I'm aware of them, right? So self-awareness first, and then you get a chance to dig into the why and see if you can't reframe it or pay attention to the actual facts rather than what used to be once upon a time and try to apply the rule no matter where you go. So it's one of those things where I feel like it can be very, very useful and helpful, especially when it comes to me, my work, my clients' work. And so there was a quote that I saw that I think explained this beautifully, and it's by Carl Jung that says, knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. So once I get a chance to start going through, okay, what is it that I feel in this moment? Why is it I feel this particular feeling in this moment, and I can go back to where it came from, who told me that first. It's that whole discovering the roots of all of your beliefs and why you feel what you feel. And once you get a chance to do that, I feel like when you see people, you have a little bit more compassion for them because you realize, hey, if I could feel this because of something that happened to me a while ago, perhaps they feel what they feel and are acting in response to that feeling because something happened to them many years ago as well. So when you get to know your own darkness, I feel like you give more people the benefit of the doubt when you see behavior that is destructive rather than productive. When I see people that lash out and yell and scream at a moment's notice, like they really switch gears very quickly and they're very upset all of a sudden, I realize that, okay, I've done that once before. I can't say that I haven't. I have, even if it was a long time ago or if it was yesterday, I've done it before. And I realize when I do that, sometimes it's the fact that I'm already upset about something else, that this was the straw that broke the camel's back. Or perhaps it put me in a feeling of, oh my gosh, impending doom or danger. How do I get out of it? And what has worked before so I can do that again? So it really comes back down to, your nervous system, how you're basically built for survival. You're going to do everything you possibly can to survive. And more often than not, that means repeating a behavior that you've done before because it's proven to you once before that, you could survive this if you do this. So some people, some kids, they feel like temper tantrums is the way to get what they want because they've done it once before and they got what they wanted, right? Or the nagging, can I have this? Can I have this? Can I have this? Like 5,000 times until you get what you want. Some people know that to avoid getting punished, if they lie, they have a 50-50 chance of getting caught. And the fact that it's a 50-50 chance is actually really appealing to them because they do get away with it sometimes, so why not try, right? I know that sometimes as adults, we try really hard to be logical as much as possible, but there are some moments where we just really get emotional. Certain things that trigger us. For me, unfortunately, for a long time, it was seeing people who were pregnant in happy marriages, giving birth, with their spouses so happy for them. And it would trigger me into a dark place where I couldn't be around them for a while because I felt like, well, shit, maybe I don't deserve that because I've never had that feeling before. I've never had anyone who was happy about me being pregnant. I've never had anyone happy to help me during a pregnancy or to take care of me. I've always had to do it for myself. So there are moments like that happen. And for me to acknowledge the fact that I feel those not so great feelings, the fact that I feel jealousy sometimes, the fact that I do compare myself to other people, I need to go back to where that started. Where did I learn that this is how I need to justify what I'm doing or understand the world around me? Was it someone who taught me that, they always compare me to somebody else, so I felt the need to continually do that as well? It became a habit from there. Or was it something that, growing up, my parents compared me to my cousins who were doing better, and so I learned from there? It could be anything. You see what I'm saying? So the best thing I feel like is to know my own darkness. And once I know my own darkness, I tend to feel like I'm being too harsh on myself, and I can forgive myself for old behavior that no longer applies to the person I am today. And by doing that, I learned that, hey, you know what? If I did it and I held on to these beliefs for so long before I learned that they weren't helping me, perhaps other people are doing it too. And so there's this compassion component that kind of works in tandem with that as well. So it's hard. I wasn't sure if I could, manage it or not, but I'm learning more and more that understanding where all this darkness comes from, understanding where all these thoughts of, jealousy, rage, the depression, the feeling that, I need to abandon people before they abandon me, because that is something we do unconsciously. And it's not until we really shed light on it and realize, hey, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm self-sabotaging. And then you get a chance to ask, well, why? Why would I do that? Why would I ever destroy something that I really, really want? Well, because you want to make sure that you protect yourself from any pain. So if you're in charge of the breakup, then you don't feel as much pain, because if they were to break up with you, you would feel a lot of pain. There would be a lot of questions for that. So in that regard, right, I really enjoy this line of thinking. It's different, it's new, and it forces me to go back and look. I mean, yes, I feel like I've healed, but I also know that in certain situations, I still revert to some of those feelings. It's like second nature, right? When I am sitting and watching a movie, if I'm by myself and I really, really like an actress, I'm going to enjoy watching that actress. But if I were with somebody and that person said, oh my God, that same actress that I like is sexy, suddenly for some reason, that actress doesn't look so appealing anymore. Why is that? Why am I suddenly not happy with the person I was happy with before? And it's because suddenly I'm comparing myself. But who am I to compare myself? I am not in the same league as those people. There are things that I can do that they can't, things that they can do that I can't. And so that's causing myself pain where I don't need to. It's unnecessary, right? So in order for me to clear that off my plate or get rid of it because it does not serve me, I need to know that it's a part of me. And once I know that it's a part of me, I get a chance to go through and be like, well, where did this come from? Is it really something that I need to be concerned with? Is it something that I am unnecessarily focusing on, and it's changing the way I react to the person that I'm with as well? So all of these things I feel are important questions. I feel are helpful to me as a person. And I hope that, as I talk to my clients, that they feel it's helpful to them as well, so that they are able to really clear things off their plate that no longer serve them. Perhaps once upon a time you ate baby food, right? But now you can crunch and munch with the best of them because you got all your teeth in. And so you don't really need baby food anymore. You don't need to reduce yourself to only eating baby food because once upon a time that was something that you needed. You no longer need it. If it's clothes that you've outgrown, you feel okay with getting rid of the clothes, even though they have great memories associated, or, they were given to you by someone dear to you. Maybe you don't use them. Maybe you turn them into something else so you can keep them around for nostalgia, but you don't have to wear them. You don't have to feel bad because you no longer fit into them. You don't have to, feel ashamed because you want to get rid of it, or it's got a hole in it, or whatever the case may be. So knowing your own darkness, I feel, and I agree with Carl Jung, is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. Because I feel like once you understand yourself, you have more capacity for compassion and kindness to other people. You realize that the things you did when you were in pain are quite possibly the reasons that they're doing things out of pain as well. And so hopefully that helps you manage the people around you, move easier around the people around you, and you don't take things as personally anymore because you realize that the way someone behaves is more about their past and their pain than it is about you and your presence in their life. So it gives you the capacity for more compassion, the capacity for more patience, the willingness to, stick it through a little bit longer instead of getting defensive and be like, oh, well, that's how you're going to treat me, we'll get the fuck out. You know what I mean? So I hope this helps. If you have any questions or concerns, do share them with me, because like I said, this is something new. It's something I'm just now starting out to discover a little bit, and I find that it's been very eye-opening for me. And I hope as I go through this, I'm able to share more and you find that it's eye-opening for you as well. So until the next time, you guys, I will catch you soon. Love you. Bye.